What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here, and it's about time. Yeah, finally a good performance, good result. First time in the past several games that we've had that. So, yeah, overall, I'm happy and pleased with the result. As far as Conte is concerned, because that's been kind of one of my frustrations with the past few games, is Conte and some of the decisions he's made. Not bad overall. It's still not great though. There's still some problems I do have. First of all, the lineup. I mean, the lineup's about what I'd hoped for. With some of the injuries we have, no Cahill, no Fabregas, and no Pedro. I kind of do expect this lineup, and even if Murata was available today, I know he rested him, but I would have hoped for Batshuayi over Murata today based on what I saw in midweek. So yeah, the lineup is pretty much what I was hoping for. The back three, perfect. Christensen, Spilicueta, Rudiger. I think that's a great back three. Alonso and Moses on the wing backs, Bakayoko and Conte, because there's no Drinkwater, no Fabregas. Don't know what was going on with Drinkwater. I didn't hear anything about him today. I know Courtois was out with an ankle injury, but I didn't hear anything about why Drinkwater wasn't available. And then a front three, thank goodness, of Willian, Hazard, and Batshuayi was excellent today. And then as far as the subs are concerned, I mean, pretty good on the bench too. You've got some youth in there. You've got Ampadu and Sterling and Musonda on there. Barkley's on the bench. He's available if you need him. Zappacosta and David Luiz are the only two that I'm just kind of like, eh. But yeah, overall, happy with the lineup. As far as the subs are concerned, that's where things got a little bit sketchy for me. I don't really mind who came off. Christensen, yeah, he had a head injury, no need to risk it. I don't mind him coming off. Alonso, I thought he was the problem player. Bakayoko was too, but we'd already used up a couple of our subs, so we weren't able to take him off. But yeah, I thought Alonso was a big problem down that left side. Shalato was tearing him apart. So yeah, I thought he deserved to come off, and Willian played the full, what was it, 200 minutes? Is that how many? No, 120 minutes? He played the whole game midweek. So yeah, I thought he deserved a break, deserved to come off. And he had put on a great performance, so he had earned a little bit of a rest. It was who was brought on that I had a little bit of a problem with. Musonda, I had no problem with. I love the fact that he got to play. Love the fact that he got a great assist on top of it. Hopefully he'll start to get a bit more time and he'll show that he's earned it. But as far as the other two, that's where I had a bit of a problem. David Luiz coming on, why? Midweek, he did absolutely nothing to show that he deserved to play today. Honestly, the fact that he's even on the bench is a bit of a shock to me. I know Cahill's not available, but he was awful midweek. He was slow. He gave away the only goal by letting the man just run away from him. He just did nothing to deserve more playing time. So why is he going in? Ampadu, I thought, was much better. I thought he had a good game. I thought he was very solid at the back. Why not Ampadu? He provides pretty much what David Luiz does, but a little bit better, a little bit more calm, and a little bit better work rate. So why not Ampadu over David Luiz? Zappacosta. Why Zappacosta? First of all, he played the full 120 minutes in midweek. So he probably deserves a bit of a break. On top of that, what was Alonso's problem? He didn't really have the pace and the energy to keep up with Shalato on the left side. Zappacosta doesn't either. So you're not really changing anything with him. You're putting in a player who's pretty much exactly the same as Alonso, except a little bit better on the attack. And that's the problem that I had, is those two subs didn't really do much to help us. David Luiz coming on the field doesn't help us. It makes us a little bit more shaky defensively. Zappacosta doesn't help us. It's pretty much Alonso, but a bit better on the attack. So how is he going to help us? So, in my opinion, I thought it should have been Ampadu coming on for Christensen. I thought it should have been Sterling on the other side because he's got the energy and the pace to keep up with Shalato from what I've seen. Yes, they're young, but I think they've earned a shot. Ampadu has shown he's got the calm head and the mindset to play at this level. And Sterling, I've liked the energy that he's come on with for the couple games that I've seen this season. I think he's done well with the few minutes of chances that he's gotten. So I don't understand why he's not getting a chance when we're 2-0 up, comfortably in control, and we need more pace and energy on that left side. Why not go with Sterling? And then Musonda, that was the only one that I really agreed with. So overall, I'm still a bit frustrated with Conte's decisions. I still think he's making some good decisions and then not some good decisions. Some very bizarre decisions, and he's playing favorites again. David Luiz Zappacosta haven't really done anything to earn more time on the field, but he continues to give it to him. That's frustrating for me. So anyway, let's move on to the referees real fast. Obviously, there were a couple calls for penalty from the Brighton fans in the first half. First one, I could see. I could see them giving a penalty for it, but I think the fact that after he felt the touch, he had a chance to stay on his feet because it wasn't enough to send him over. It's the fact that he threw himself to ground. And you could see by his body positioning, the way he turned his body to look at the referee as he's falling, you could see he's throwing himself to ground after the contact. And then the second one was just a coming together. There's nothing there. Once again, looking for the foul. And I think he got a yellow for dissent, or I couldn't tell if it was dissent or simulation. But either way, both of them, I can understand why the ref didn't give him. Only the first one I thought had a chance of being a penalty. If he hadn't thrown himself to ground, if he had tried to stay on his feet and then maybe stumbled afterward, I could see the ref then going, okay, yeah, he tried to stay up, he couldn't. But no, he had to throw himself and had to look for the foul, and the ref was like, no, I'm not giving you that. So I could understand the Brighton fans getting upset about the first one, but not the second one. Now on to individual performances. Caballero in goal had to continue because Courtois got an ankle injury in training yesterday. So, yeah, it's something that I wasn't really sure what to expect. He had a good game against Norwich, I thought. So is he going to be able to continue? And moments. He had some really good moments where he looked comfortable, he looked calm. The one save in the first half where he was off balance and had to come back and reach it with his other hand, really good save. But then there were some other instances. The one that could have been a penalty, no reason for him to have to go out there. He made a good save to keep it away from the attacker and parry it away. But then you've got 5-6 players behind the ball. You don't have any reason to go in and chasing it there. There's no reason to dive in and nearly give away a penalty there because you had so much help. All you had to do is just get back in your goal, let them do the work. And then on top of that, there were a couple other crazy moments where he's coming out to a ball that he has no chance to get to. He's trying to punch it away, he misses it. So, yeah, he was a little bit more sporadic in this one, or erratic in this one than he was against Norwich, but still overall looked a lot more comfortable than I think Begovic did last year. And I think that's the big thing for me is we have a backup keeper that's doing a better job than Begovic did as a backup keeper last year. And on top of that, he was free, and we were able to sell Begovic for a good bit of money. So I think overall he's definitely been a bargain for us. Into the back three, Spilicueta looked okay. Didn't really provide the same usual defensive stability that I've expected from him. There were a couple times where he went flying into a challenge that I'm just like, just stand him up. There's no reason to try to win the ball there. So I don't know. He looked a little bit shaky today. And the pace, he was outpaced a couple times by March, which is not something that I'm used to seeing from Spilicueta. So, I don't know. The thing is, we didn't give away a goal. We kept a clean sheet, which was great. But at the same time, we weren't still defensively solid. We still gave away a couple really good chances. We looked a little bit shaky at times. And Spilicueta was part of that. He just wasn't the same usual calm character that I've come to expect. Christensen was a little bit better. Just his calmness on the ball, his ability to really keep possession and keep a calm, collected head, even though there was a lot of pressure on us. Yeah, I thought he played pretty well. Defensively, I didn't see as much from him as I'm used to seeing as far as like making last-ditch challenges. I thought a lot of what he was providing today was cover for the other two, so it wasn't his best game, but I also think he was still probably the best of the back three today. Rudiger, kind of the same as Spilicueta, got caught going into a couple challenges that were out of position and really didn't have any right being there, and it caused some confusion in the back of who's got who. So I think all three of them, it wasn't like they had a poor game today. I just think Spilicueta and Rudiger were trying to do too much. Defensively, trying to go into challenges where you've got people there that can help you. There's no reason for you to get pulled out of position on that. So, yeah, not a bad game overall from those three, but definitely could have been better. Definitely gave away some very good chances to Brighton. Into the wingbacks, Moses and Alonso. like I said, Alonso just didn't have it today. Easily outpaced several times on the attack, didn't really provide much for us either. So he keeps dropping off. Ever since that Tottenham game where he was outstanding, and I just remember thinking, yes, he's back. He hasn't done anything close to that since. He's just been either boring, bland, or not involved at all. And it's just not good enough. And obviously we don't really have anybody that can take that spot, but like I said, I'd like to see a couple youth players get a chance. I thought Kennedy had a lot of energy midweek. I don't see why he's not getting a bit more of a chance. Why isn't Sterling getting a chance? I don't know. I just feel like Alonso is getting way too much credit out there that he doesn't really deserve. Moses on the other side, he played pretty well today. Got the goal, got the assist for the first one, which was a bit lucky. Got the little flick off the defender. But yeah, it wasn't one of his better games defensively, I don't think, because most of the time I see him flying up and down the line, helping out defensively. I didn't see that as much today, and I think that's part of why Spilicueta got pulled out of position so many times. I think there was a lack of communication between the two, and so Moses thinking, I need to get up and help in the attack a lot because we want to get forward, we want to attack, which I don't mind, but then he wasn't getting back as well as he normally does, and it was causing Spilicueta some problems. So I don't know. I still think he had a really good game overall. I just think the defensive side of his game has been one of the problems that he's had in the past, and today it wasn't at his best. Into the middle, Conte and Bakayoko did okay overall. Conte obviously looked the better of the two just because he was still just constantly putting in challenges, constantly winning the ball back, putting the other midfielders under pressure in the other team. Bakayoko had some good moments, but then had some of his lazy moments again where he's just sort of throwing a foot out. He's not stepping into a challenge. There was one moment in the first half where the ball just flicks up, and it feels like all you have to do is just go up and win it, but instead he kind of stands off and then just kind of jumps up at it, and it flicks over his head, and he just sort of turns around to watch as the rest of his team is trying to defend it. The moments like that make me think you're not good enough to make it at this level. But then he has some really good moments where he steps in, wins the ball well, he drives forward with the ball really well. So I'm just so back and forth on him, I don't know how to rate him. Sometimes he looks really, really good. Sometimes he looks awful. So, I don't know. It's just, I get frustrated with him sometimes. Up into the front three, Willian, Hazard, Batshuayi all played really well today. Willian definitely made a case for why he deserves to be starting in this front three. The energy, the movement, the ball work around. And this is coming off of a 120-minute game that he had to play midweek. That's impressive. I mean, that is really, really impressive that he played that entire game and still has the energy in this game to create what he did. The goal for the second one, brilliant. All of the work that he put in today was fantastic, and just the fact that he played the 120 minutes in midweek makes it all the more impressive. So I really think that he's showing why he deserves to start, and I think having a front three has been the better look for us this season. We had a couple games where the 3-5-2 worked well, but I think overall the 3-4-3 is still our best formation. I think a lot of that has to do with the movement up top. Hazard, Willian, or Hazard and Pedro, they just move so much that it provides more help for our defense and our midfield, so we can get the ball up to him more, we can create more up top, create more chances. So I just think that he showed today why he deserves to be starting in there, why this formation is our best. Hazard, same thing. Had that very good game, just where he's shown why he deserves to be in there for the full 90. He's so good on the ball. The finishes that he had today were fantastic. There are moments that pretty lucky on the first one for it to come off the defender and right to his feet, but he still has that awareness to take it away and then just bury it far corner. Kind of lucky that Willian manages to pick off the defender and then great ball into him behind. And then from there, it's all about what can I do on the ball. He's driving at the defender, waiting for an option. Is the defender going to commit? Is he going to just keep backing off? He keeps backing off? Okay, well then Hazard's just going to take it inside, and as soon as he takes it inside, something's about to happen. And he just buries it coolly in the far corner away from the keeper. So I just think whenever those two are at the top of their game like they were today, there's not many defenses that can stop them in any league. So I really do think that this is our best formation right now, and Hazard and Willian were a big part of showing today why it's our best formation. Batshuayi had a good game overall. He got the assist for Williams' goal, which was easily the best of the goals. Just the quick little flick into Williams' path. The thing about Batshuayi is he had a good game today when he was on the ball. He had some really good passes, held up the ball pretty well, looked to pass pretty well. There were a couple moments, like the one where he wins the ball at half field. You would think he should have the pace and the energy to outpace the defense and create something. And he nearly did, but the defender did a good job of recovering and blocked off the pass to Hazard inside. He had some moments like that where it's just like, okay, come on, it's got to be better. But then he had some really good moments, like the flick to Willian, like the pass around the corner to Alonso. Just some really good interplay moments when he was on the ball. And the problem with that is he wasn't on the ball enough. That is my biggest problem with Batshuayi is he never seems to get on the ball enough. He never seems to find that space to create something enough. He has those moments. He's shown he can play. And on top of that, we need that. We need him to start playing more because he hasn't been playing enough. And I think that's a big part of why he hasn't really shown the quality, because I don't think he's gotten enough time. How often has he played this season? Rarely. The only reason he's been playing a lot recently is because the FA Cup has popped up. We also had the League Cup. So he had a lot of games, so he had to play, because Morata couldn't play all of those games. Now Morata gets sent off. He has a chance to prove himself. I thought he did. But he's got to get on the ball more. He's got to want to get on the ball more. And part of that is he doesn't have to as much as I think I expect him to, just because Hazard and Willian are creating a lot without him being involved. But I still think his movement has to be better. He has to open up into spaces to where he can receive the ball. Even if he doesn't get it, he should be in a place where he can receive it, and I don't see enough of that from him. But, overall, I still think he's got quality. I just think we need to give him more time on the field. I think Conte needs to give him more of a chance, because I think he's earned it. And I think if you keep benching him, when Morata comes back, if you just stop playing him again, if you keep going to Morata, I think he's going to lose this quality that we've seen in the past couple games. Obviously against Norwich he wasn't great, but the work ethic that we saw to win the ball back whenever he lost it, the quality that we saw today, some of the passes that he had, I think that's going to start to drop off again if you don't play him, if you let him sit the bench. So I just think that's a big part of it. As far as the subs that came on, David Luiz, I don't know, just not good, but not bad either. Didn't really see any of the stupid stuff that he did midweek against Norwich that killed us, but also didn't see anything that really helped us today. Still went into a few challenges in midfield that you have no business going into. You go flying in, and then they just 1-2 around you, and now you're beat. So, I don't know. I don't think he deserved to play today after the midweek performance. I think Ampadu deserved it a lot more, but I'm not the coach. Zappacosta on the left side coming in for Alonso didn't really provide much for us. At the time, Brighton had switched up their formation a little bit to where Shalata wasn't really making as many runs down that wing side, so he didn't really have as much to do defensively. But even then, they still created a lot, and it was all coming from that side. When Alonso was on, when he was on, their best chances came from our left side. So another case of why we need to make some changes over there and find somebody that can shut down that side and not let the other team have as many chances. And then Musonda coming on, I thought looked bright. Didn't really have a whole lot of time to get into the game, but he looked like he wanted to get in. He looked like he wanted to run around and make something happen. And like I said, the assist to Moses was fantastic. Just perfectly placed. It looked like a Fabregas ball over the top, and obviously Moses did very well to settle it and find the net. But that's why I want to see more of him. I want to see more of Musonda. I want to see more of what he can do. We have the midweek game against Arsenal in the League Cup, I believe, this week. I'm pretty sure. Get him in. Let him see what he can do. Pedro, coming off of the suspension, he'll probably play, but I want to see Musonda in too. I want to see what he's capable of, because I've seen enough out of him to say he deserves a chance in the side. So, yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't play him after that assist and the energy he came on with, but Conte's made some decisions this season that I don't really understand at all, so I don't know what to expect anymore. But anyway, that's it for me. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What were your thoughts on this game? Let me know what you can talk about and discuss, all that good stuff. Leave a like and subscribe for future Chelsea reviews, and I'll see you guys in the next game. Peace out.